Okay, so I'm really bad at doing intros to what I'm doing. I just jump right in. I've always been that way. So I thought I'd try to do an intro and show you some things that I've put on my face today. I'm using this right here to try to treat some puffy, baggy under eyes. I've tried out a new tinted primer from Essence and an e.l.f. palette. It's all drugstore today. So if you like drugstore, hang out with me and maybe we can talk about some things, some of our favorite drugstore products. And also, I had everything drugstore except for a good setting powder for foundation. If you have a recommendation for that from the drugstore, I would love to hear it. Okay, bye-bye. Hey everybody, so this is the before. I wanted to come on. I've just cleansed my skin really well, double cleanse, and I used, on the second go around, I used this Palmer's Coconut Sugar Facial Scrub because I've been upping the tretinoin. I'm doing that, I don't know, several times a week, and so I've got quite a few little flakies. And so I was trying to get those off. And I thought I'd come on and show you what I'm dealing with here with these eye bags, which I've never really had eye bags before. I have plenty of wrinkles, but I haven't had to deal with this. So I looked it up. I went to YouTube, of course, and I remembered Anne Marie. Is it Beauty by Anne Marie, I think? Anyway, I looked up because she's pretty good. She's the expert on that. And she said that she was dabbing a little bit of this. It's a huge, they don't sell this in a smaller thing at my drugstore anyway. It's the Nivea Skin Firming and Toning with Q10 plus L-carnitine. Anyway, I just take the very most smallest amount. I just turn it upside down and then I just dab a little on my finger. Okay, so that's probably enough for both. And I just dab it right there on the little puffy part. And work it in. And I swear it makes a difference. You wouldn't think so. Like after a time or two, I could notice a difference. So we're gonna let that sit in for a minute. And I try not to get it too much into that place where I'm wanting fat to be, because I wouldn't mind a little puff right there where I've lost fat. So I'm really trying to mush it in gently to the little puffy parts. And you can tell by my nose, I've been very allergic this year. Okay, what's next? I'm gonna try and do this all drugstore too, because a lot of the time, probably 90% of my routine is drugstore, but then I'll add in some different things. And also, so I thought I might start adding this Garnier. I just got it yesterday. Let me see if I can find the little thing. You've probably used this before. I haven't had to really buy this before, but it's the Clearly Brighter Anti-Puff Eye Roller, and instantly refreshes, reduces puffiness, and brightens, and it has vitamin C, caffeine, and an antioxidant complex. So we're just gonna go ahead and just layer that on top. And I kind of want to get that in the hollow because it has the C. And C is probably good for that. Okay, so we'll let that sit in. I'm going to have to just fast forward this and voice over because I ramble on for like 45 minutes here. So I'm showing you that I'm using the CeraVe SPF 30. It's I also have the one that's tinted, but I decided to get the clear one because I got a new product I wanted to try out that has its own tint to it. And then I put on a Burt's Bees lip oil, and then this is the new product that I was telling you about. It's the Essence tinted primer, and it goes on, and it's supposed to blur and be matte, and it's pretty good. And it doesn't offer a lot of coverage, but with that and a concealer, it's not so bad. So here I'm just so the first thing was I put on the CeraVe PM with the ceramides and niacinamide and all that, and then I put on the sunscreen. Right here I have the sunscreen on, and then I'm talking about something, and there's that Essence stuff, and that's what it looks like. It's kind of moussey, and this was the nude beige, I think. It adds a little bit of color, not too much. They had different shades. They had fair and light nude, or light beige and nude beige, and then it bumped up to a medium beige, I think. They had a few colors, and this was Essence. And then I've never tried the Essence concealer. This is the camouflage one. It's supposed to be waterproof and cover a tattoo and heavy duty. So I will not use much of this. But what I like to do is use something that is strong but not much of it, rather than use a whole lot of like a hydrating one. Because really, I'm dry under my eyes and I could use a hydrating one, but those don't, I have to use so much of it to get any coverage, and it doesn't last. So I'd rather use just a little bit of this one that is super heavy duty, and then blend it in really well with the wet sponge. And so that was one bit, and then I wiped most of it off, and then I just put it in the little ditch area that surrounds the puff. I don't know, I'm just learning how to try to deal with these puffy eyes. So I'm just trying whatever. And then I got an Essence Brighten Up powder. It was a banana powder. And I want to use that just in where I have the little tear troughs, to try to bring light to right there, to the inner part. And then I'm gonna, oh yeah, I forgot to put the concealer on my eyelids, so I always do that. Seems to hold on eyeshadow pretty well. And I really wouldn't have to powder this concealer. I think it dries down and is just there. But I'm super aware now of any shine that I have going on the under eye puffiness. Eye bags. What do you call those? Eye bags, I think. So now I did not have a drugstore powder. I'm sorry about that. But I used a little bit of the Laura Mercier to set the T-zone and under my eyes. And then I was smelling the bronzer. I love that Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I have it in deep. And the main reason, I have a lot of bronzers, but the main reason I grabbed that one is just because I love the smell of it. It reminds me of summer, and it's just a good smell. It's a happy smell. And then I have a little e.l.f. brush that's thin that I use to put the bronzer on my nose. And so that's where we are. I could have used the e.l.f. bronzer as well, but I didn't. I chose this one because of the smell. And then I'm going into this e.l.f. eyeshadow palette, and it's called Need It Nude. And I found drugstore brushes and everything, and I'm starting with just a matte light brown. It's kind of a grayish brown. It's not a warm brown. So if I wanted a warm brown, I could just use the bronzer right there. So I'm just doing that right in the crease, and I haven't put anything on the lid yet. I don't know what I'm doing here. We'll see. Okay, so I've got my L'Oreal Voluminous Brown Liner, and I'm just going to go ahead and put that in the waterline.
And then I'm kind of smoking that out just a little bit with that same crease color that I used. Let's see. Oh, and then I decided to put a little light line of that on top. Because I like the eye definition, but it's hard when your lashes get thinner because they're not defining your eyes like they should.
I think I'm going to go with this kind of like, I usually go with a bronzy shade, but lately I'm kind of more into this fleshy toned shimmer. Kind of pretty. So I just dip into it, but then I type it off because I don't want all that below.
Okay, so after the shimmer, I go back in with the darkest in the palette, which isn't very dark, but I go into that and I layer that over the top of that brown liner that I put down there. And that does seem to help it last all day, and it also softens it and makes it a nice soft look. Let's see what else. I'm just fiddling about with it. I don't know if I show it, but I end up taking Okay, I ended up taking the crease color underneath my lower lash line, and now I'm using the L'Oreal Lash Paradise in the black brown. So I'm looking for a drugstore blush. I found this Physicians Formula Butter Blush, but the color is just, it's not going to work on me. And I found a Delicioso pink, but I'm looking for the Luminoso, which I end up using the Luminoso. But it would have been pretty if I would have put just a little pop of that pink on the apples. But I never did go back and do that. So I found an e.l.f. blush brush, and I'm putting on the Luminoso. I like that it has a little glow already, so I don't have to bother with the highlighter. I put a little bit on the bridge of my nose, but it was a little too glowy for that, so I probably wouldn't recommend it. And then I also added the Luminoso up in my crease just to tie all the colors all together. Don't know what I'm doing here. Oh, I found the first time I've ever had an Essence eyebrow pencil, and I like it. It worked really well. It was really skinny. I was showing you in my hand there that it broke off because I had don't roll it up too far because it will break on you. So I rolled it back down and it worked really well. It might be a tad dark even though it was the light brown color, I think. I may have to try a blonde next, but usually I don't like the ones that are blonde. Let's see. Oh, and then I remembered I had the Essence, this thing, whatever this thing is. And I put a little bit of that on, and then I guess I took a Q-tip and wiped some of it off. Oh, I think that I was just making sure that the pencil was all blended in before I put this in on the, what do you call that stuff? The eyebrow mascara stuff. Let's see, what am I doing now? Goodness. Girl, get ready and get out in the day. Oh, and I found an Essence lip liner, and it's called Because Duh. And I'm saying that I don't like to go all the way to the inside corner of my lips because I don't like my smile to be very wide. I'd rather it be more more volume on the top and bottom, more emphasis on the top and bottom rather than the edges and the sides of my mouth. And then I'm taking down my hair because usually when people do these videos and they take down their hair, it's like magic and they look all better. But this is hair that's been worked out on the day before and slept on, and I haven't done a thing to it. So I end up pulling it back and all that stuff. So at least I'm finally done with my face. Well, you would think I am. Not really. I remembered I had all that mascara to clean up.
Okay, so I have pulled my hair back, and what I did was I just took these side parts and I braided it just in a regular 3-thing braid, strand braid, and pulled it back and put some elastic around it. I haven't even looked at the back. I don't know what it looks like. But then I've noticed that now I'm a little blushy. It's a little crazy. So I think what I will do is I will just take this right here and dab it in so that it will kind of mix in and blend a little better. Plus, I think that's important because I have a lot of wrinkles. You see them, right? Over here. And I don't want them, I do not want just dry powder stuck there. The more I talk about it, the more water I feel like I need. So I just really stamp everything in. As a finishing step. And it soaks it up too. But the reason I do this is because I always like my makeup much better after I've worn it for a long time. And I guess some oils are like breaking through. Well, since I have the dry skin now and dehydrated skin from the retin-A and all that, I don't really have a whole lot of oils to break through and make it work. So this helps. Okay, so there's that. And then also, when I was looking at my face, I had a mascara up here too. So I've gotten those flakes off and noticed that most of my eyeliner had worn off. So I'm just gonna touch that up a little bit. And then I am pretty bulletproof for the rest of the day. I won't do anything other than maybe put on some chapstick or something. For heaven's sake, I forgot another important thing to me, and that is to take the lightest right here. It's like a bone white. And I like to make sure that I have something bright, not shiny and glittery, but something just bright colored, not bright colored, something white right underneath my brow that causes the eye to go up a little bit. And it just helps to make all this that we've done in the crease here look prettier. And to soften it a little. So there's that, and let's see if I've done anything else. Oh yeah, I know. I put a little bit of this Bonfire Sunbum lip balm on, dabbed it on just so that, because the other one is a matte, and this one will make my lips feel nice and soft. All right, and that's it. That's really it. I'm getting dressed and getting to work now. All right, bye-bye. One more thing, I forgot to say happy weekend. I hope that you will enjoy your weekend, your time off, and that you'll spend it with family and friends and have a lovely time. And I appreciate you hanging out and spending time with me. Also, tell me what your favorite drugstore things are.